Hey there everybody, this is Friendly Neighborhood Martok 2112 with my first actual video tutorial. Wish I had the software to actually do this directly, but gotta use a video camera. Yeah. Anyway, so I got an email from a user who wanted to know how to blend certain motions. He wanted a character to walk and approach another character, and as this character is approaching the other, he raises his hand and wags his finger, admonishing the other character, I'm guessing. So So this took me a little bit of trial and error to actually figure this out. You have to kind of deconstruct the motion in your mind. What I got, this is a very static motion because I had to use motion puppet to create the walk. It was the only way that I was able to make layered recordings of other motions afterward. But this is what I got. This is my character. This is Athena from my Battlestar Galactica projects, and I like to use her as my model when I do tutorials and stuff. So anyway, here's the motion that I created according to what was asked. And if I can find the left mouse button, there we go. So as you can see, she's stopped, she's walked, she stopped, and just before she stopped, she raises her right hand and wags her finger. Okay, gotta pause the video for a moment because I gotta set up for the actual process. So give me a second here. Okay, welcome back. Alright, so first thing we gotta do is get the character to walking. Now, there's several methods, but the only method that I found that works is using motion puppet. So, yeah, sound effects. Alright, so we go and we click on motion puppet. Then we look and we see the window that's popped up. As you can see, there are 4 different move templates. What we want to select is move. Now, the character that was asked about was male, but since Athena is female, I'm going to go down and I'm going to select basic female walk. Alright, got that selected. Okay, then we record it. So we click on record, and it'll tell you to hit the space bar when you're ready to start recording. So, we hit the space bar. Maestro, if you please. And your character's walking. Alright, record about as much as you think is necessary for the scene, then hit the space bar to stop. Now you've recorded it. Alright, we go up, we turn this off. Okay. So we can go back. We can, I'm trying to navigate by camera eye, which is really stupid. Okay. So we go back, we click, make the playback, and as you can see, boom, she's walking. Yes, she's walking. Oh, yes, indeed, she's walking. Alright. So, now, I'm going to assume that the character is, coming to a stop to admonish the other character. So what you want to do is move the timeline to the end of the walk animation. Voila! You'll find that under the character's timeline, select motion, and you'll see the motion track has the duration of the animation I recorded. So move the red slider close to the end of the animation. Then what you want to do is go under the Content Manager template for animation. Now again, my character is female. So I pick Violet, click on that tree, click Movement, and click Walk. Alright. Now, you want to select Walk Forward End, and then double click on that, and that should effectively end a nice little walk animation. So, now she's going to walk and she's going to stop. Yay! By the way, I know a lot of you already know probably how to do some of this stuff. This tutorial is basically for people who are new to iClone. And as you can see, she walked and she stopped, and it looked fairly naturalistic. Alright, now comes the fun part. First thing we want to do, we want to have her raise her arm to about chest level or so, you know. So, we're going to take the slider, I'm going to move it maybe about, say about 2/3 up the timeline. 2/3 up the animation timeline. Alright. Now, this is going to be awkward because I'm holding a camera in the right hand and using my left hand for the mouse, which is, you know what, let me set up a tripod. Give me a second. And then it occurs to me that with a tripod, I won't quite have the flexibility of showing everything I need to do. So, pardon the visual penmanship here. Okay. The first thing we want to do is go to Direct Puppet. No, scratch that. Strike my last. First thing we want to do is position the preview camera so that you got a profile view of the character. Because a lot of what you do when you're working with Direct Puppet is screen based. Very rarely do I use the 2 bullets that are below screen based movement or screen based rotation. So we put the camera to the character's right, or the left actually, facing her left. Now you go to Direct Puppet, click on that. That'll bring up this window with the little cartoony guy here. Okay. Click on the right wrist. Click on the right wrist. There we go. Alright. Right wrist is not highlit. There it goes. Okay. Alrighty. Now, what you want to do is with the slider in position, the nice thing about this is you can rehearse the movement. So, now what I'm going to do is set up the tripod so I can demonstrate the rehearsal of the movement. But a preview is good for this. Place the slider about 2/3 up the animation, then you'll click on preview, and then when you're ready you'll hit the space bar to start the preview. So, give me a second, tripod's going up. Okay, we're about to preview and rehearse her bringing up her wrist to roughly about chest level. Now this is going to be trial and error. So we click on preview, the right wrist is selected, you got screen-based movement picked. Alright, and realistic shoulder is kind of nice. So, the preview button clicked, we hit space, and what's going to happen is, when you do this, you'll raise the mouse a little bit and then lower it. She's going to bend, or her arm's going to bend at the elbow. And you want to try to time this to where the red line, you want to make sure you don't run out of animation. If you do, though, I think you can actually alter the new animation bar to fit the timing. I'm rambling right now. Anyway, here we go. So, and as you can see, that kind of sucked. So, try that again. And and having a rough time here. Alright, so I guess I'll have to move the mouse out and up and down. Out and up and down. Okay, that's a little bit more of what I wanted. Try it again. Okay, I'm getting there. There. Right there. Alright. Now, the one thing I wish iClone had was a save your rehearsal feature. Like if you hit the perfect move in your rehearsal, I wish you could save it. But anyway, you just have to pray and make sure that when you actually record, you get the same results. So here we go. Alright. There she goes. Arm is raised. I'll have to do this one more time. So, undo. Alright. Move the slider back. Try this again. Now, what's going to happen is I'll have to actually hold the arm in position until she's finished walking. So, voila. Alright, holding the arm in position. Okay. And it's still kind of flicked forward a little bit, but I can work with that. So, watch the playback. She's walking. And she will raise her arm. Alright, now her arm, like I said, flicked out. So what we want to do, we'll probably have to add a little keyframe to, okay, so we want to go down to the motion layer, track, mouse, where are you? There you are. We'll go down to the motion layer track. And at the red slider, add a keyframe. Our arm's going to flick out. So go to Edit Motion Layer, which is really good for controlling individual movements there. Make sure Rotate is selected. And bend her arm up there a little bit. Now, as you can see, looks like she's holding position pretty well there. Okay. Now, next part is we want to add the motions that will lead up to her wagging her finger. So give me a second to get set up for this. Okay, as you can see, I've now moved the camera directly in front of her. So, now our next thing is we want to have the hand in position to so she can start wagging her finger. This is going to be another keyframe thing. So we click on Edit Motion Layer. Now I've already added the motion layer to where her arm is about where it should be. So with this, click on the right wrist in the Edit Motion Layer stick figure and rotate her hand out a little bit, like so. Angle it about like that. At a natural, you don't need to have it pointing directly straight up, just kind of a natural angle. Okay, and also at the keyframe down there, just in case, you might want to right click on it and give it a ease out, just to make it look a little naturalistic. Alright, now we've got that accomplished. She is ready to start wagging her finger, so to speak. Actually, first thing she has to do is wag her hand. So, now we want to take the camera. This is going to be another direct puppet. This is going to be a direct puppet, not a motion puppet. Direct puppet was what I used to get her arm in position. Now we put the camera above Athena. Directly above her, because this is going to be a screen-based rotation. So, click on Direct Puppet. Click on her right wrist. Alrighty. Now she's getting ready to wag her hand. So, select Screen-Based Rotation. You can preview record this, you can preview this again to make sure you get the right amount of waggery in there. So I've selected preview, and you just kind of shake her hand side to side. Alright. So now we got that. Click on record. Wag her hand again. Okay. Now if you watch the playback, she'll walk, she'll start to come to a stop, and in the process, she'll be wagging her hand. Isn't she cute? Okay. Now. Camera, makeup. Alright. Now we get to add in to where it looks like she's wagging her finger. The finger. Alright. Now, around about here is maybe where you might want to just go ahead and have her form the finger. So, we're going into her animation, we go into hands. And sliding this back here, because I seem to have gone off course. As you can see, the red line is just about at the end of the animation. So what we want to do is animation, hands, look under the content manager and scroll down until you find the 1. That one. That is the 1. Alright. Click on it. Okay. Now, the animation itself is fairly short for the pointing of the finger, because if I recall correctly, she will go back to her default hand position after that animation is ended. So what we want to do, stretch the animation, and if necessary, go ahead and copy and paste it. You can use the icons over here to the left, or you can use my favorite, Control-C to copy, Control-V to paste. Alright, now she will maintain the wagging finger. Yes, beware the finger. Alright, so, here we go. La 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 la, she's walking, da 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 da. She is now wagging. Okay. Now that's a bit of an exaggerated move. I'm sure that what the guy who emailed me was looking for probably something a little more subtle. But I just wanted to put this together to show an example of how to blend animations like this. It seems like a long involved process, but that's only because this seems like a long involved video. After you get it down a few times, it's a pretty quick process. Now, we might want to do a little bit of tweaking and editing. So, let me zoom in a little bit here. We should be able, with the layered recordings, should be able to, let's see, which anime. The only thing is, trying to figure out which animation is which on the timeline. And I'm sorry if my camera went off angle there. So let's see. What is this going to do? I tell you what, give me a few minutes while I do some trial and error so I don't run up a lot of video time here. Be right back. Okay, I went back and I did some tweaking in the timeline. Because when you work with Direct Puppet, you're essentially working with layered animations. It's kind of like working with a multi-track recorder, only you're kind of bouncing tracks. You're recording one track over the other. But the nice thing is, if you have to, as you noticed before, when she was walking, she kind of started her wag at the end of her walk. And according to the guy who emailed me, I think he wanted him to wag his finger while he was walking a little bit. So I did some tweaking with the keyframes, with her, the finger, and the walk. So I deleted her wagging initially, which it still maintained her raising her arm and coming to a stop. So I was able to move back the slider a little further. Now when you watch the playback, she'll actually wag as she's still walking, instead of just coming to a halt and then wagging her finger. Now you see she's wagging her finger. Now she comes to a halt and she's still wagging her finger. So all I can say is, when you're working with Direct Puppet and you're layering your recordings, you'll have to experiment a little bit. You might have to eliminate one aspect of the record and then go back, do it over again. But, like I said, here she goes. I did a little tweaking, and I actually managed to make her start wagging her finger as she's walking. Then she comes to a halt, and she still wags her finger a little bit. So, I hope this tutorial helps a little bit. I tried to show as much as I could, as many aspects of the recording process and the laying down process. Your actual mileage may vary. If this was helpful, let me know. If there was any little detail that maybe I could enhance on a little bit, let me know. This is your friendly neighborhood, Martok2112. Oh, by the way, before I sign out, you might want to save this as an animation. So go to Custom, and Motion, and oh yeah, Capture. I find this to be very important. So collect clip, click on collect clip down there, and scroll, wrong track, scroll till you capture everything. Alrighty, and then we store the animation, and we'll call it walking and wagging. Alright, now this is a static animation, meaning she's walking in place. So when you're wanting to make her walk from point A to point B, it's going to be a transform keyframe. So here's her point of origin. We go into transform, and the keyframe is already set. And so we play out the animation, or actually we can just move the slider to the end of the animation. Alright, and now she's taken quite a few steps, so right about there, click on move. Oops, wrong axis, sorry. Okay, Y-axis, that's the green arrow. Sounds like a hero of some type. Alright. Now, hopefully she won't look like she's walking on. Okay, it looks pretty natural. Alright. She gets up, she wags her finger, and she comes to a halt and she slides into first. Okay, not so good. So, gotta do just a little bit of creative editing here. Let's see. Okay, That's better. If your end keyframe has her sliding into place like she did earlier, move the end keyframe to earlier in the animation, to where, okay, she's taken her last step, and boom, now she's stopped. Now the walk motion animation looks just a little more naturalistic. And she wags her finger in the process. Okay, not too bad. Now we'll change the camera angle. And it goes a little something like this. And voila. Alright. You probably won't want to store the keyframes. Leave it as a walking in place animation. Because you can adjust the speed of the walk, essentially the speed of the animation, by changing the length of the animation when you load it into your character when you're setting up your scene. Okay, I've rambled on probably about as much as I care to, so I'm just going to do one more playback, and then this is your friendly Martok 2112 with my lovely assistant Athena signing off. Signing off.